St. Lucia joined the global community Wednesday, 17th June in observing World Day to combat desertification. The observance serves as a point of reflection and call for action as all countries use the soil or land for food and water. The focus this year is on the attainment of food security for all through sustainable food systems. The Forest and Land Resources Department of the Ministry of Sustainable Development, Energy, Science and Technology is spearheading activities throughout the week to plant and will be planted in excess of 100 trees with the aim of restoring degraded lands around the island. With the slogan, "No such thing as a free lunch, invest in healthy soil," the 2015 observance calls for a change in land use practices through smart agriculture and adaptation to the changing climate, especially in the dry, fragile parts of the world where food shortages are becoming more and more severe. In St. Lucia, desertification continues to be a major concern, primarily due to the illegal cultivation of crops in the forest reserves. Meantime, the Ministry of Agriculture is in the throes of preparing a country report on biodiversity for submission to the Food and Agriculture Organization, the FAO. The report will detail efforts for the protection of St. Lucia's biodiversity.
We've been losing a lot of land mass. We've been losing a lot of the flora and fauna in our waterways, in our forestry areas. And this particular process is to allow us an opportunity to get a snapshot as to where we're at. One of the unfortunate things that has happened is that to a great extent we've not been able to patent any of our local biodiversity. So you probably might leave this country and whereas the Amazon versicolor is supposed to be our national bird and that sort of stuff, I could guarantee you'll find it in a few places in the world. We've had a lot of agencies who've worked with us over the years to try and protect it. So if you travel to a lot of the countries of the world that are associated with FAO and with ICA, you'll see a lot of our mango varieties, our local flora. You will see those species, and part of the process of having them in other parts of the world is to actually have gene banks that will protect them and preserve them to some extent, because it's ill-advised that we try to protect all of our biodiversity.
Mr. Kemwa Jean-Baptiste emphasized the importance of commitment to the cause.
I mean, there's a lot of talk about food security, food safety. We've seen the challenges that we have faced, for example, in our fisheries with the lionfish, among other species that are invasive and so on. And so your participation here is saying today that you're going to commit yourself to getting the best snapshot, the best resolution in this particular snapshot. We can't account for everything, but if we could get a very high resolution in terms of what it is that we have locally, that would augur well as we move forward and we continue the process of ensuring that we protect it, ensuring that we perhaps diversify it and ensure that we have a biodiversity that will support agriculture and food production in this part of the world.
In more environmental matters, the government of St. Lucia has signed a grant agreement with the Caribbean Development Fund, the CDF, for funding of the St. Lucia National Trust Renewable Energy Project in the sum of €71,749. The agreement was signed by Prime Minister Dr. Kenny Anthony and the Ambassador Lorne McDonald, the Chief Executive Officer of the CDF. Specifically, the funding seeks to provide lighting solutions for the Pigeon Island National Park in keeping with one of its principal themes, environmental preservation. The lighting solutions were designed to run strictly on solar PV modules backed up by 1224-volt DC battery banks, and the use of solar lighting was initiated by the St. Lucia National Trust. This grant agreement represents the third grant awarded to St. Lucia by the CDF since 2010. Previous grants included funding for the Trade and Export Promotion Agency for $1 million and the Ministry of Agriculture's Youth Agri-Entrepreneurship Project in the sum of $1.37 million. In addition, the CDF provided a loan facility to St. Lucia Development Bank for about $3 million. This brings the total funding by the CDF to St. Lucia to just about $6 million.